The country that we live in, Israel, is a country which was born out of a Holocaust. We lost 6 million people, a third of our people in World War II. And we had no allies. We had no allies. I think the Christians, the Bible-believing Christians of America, were basically unaware, really, of what was going on in Europe. And the Jewish people in America were very busy with their lives here in America. And so 6 million Jews died because we had no allies. The testimony which changed my life forever is the testimony from Dallas in April of 1991, where I was told very clearly by the Council on Foreign Relations in Dallas that Israel would be sold out for a barrel of oil, that there would be another Holocaust, that Israel must not withdraw from the Jordan River. Israel must not come down from the Golan Heights. And what I said then was that Israel should not withdraw from Gaza, which we unfortunately did, big mistake. But the point is that Israel, according to the UN resolutions 242 and 338, must have defensible borders, meaning we do not go back to the borders of June the 5th, 67, right, which is what the State Department and the world is trying to force Israel to do.
Which means to give up the Golan and...
Golan and Judea and Samaria and Jerusalem. And so I go to the Christian churches in order to mobilize support for the state of Israel, for the Jewish people. And I also try to make it very clear to the Christians all over the world that they are threatened to the same extent as the Jews and Israel are threatened. And I also say basically that Jews and Christians are waiting for the Messiah, who is a Jew from Israel who speaks Hebrew. And that Messiah is going to come to Jerusalem. And so Christians share this faith with the Jews. Salvation is of the Jews, it says in Romans.
Yes, it does.
And if the Messiah is coming to Jerusalem, the Christians have a right and Christians have an obligation to defend Jerusalem, to stand with Jerusalem, to stand with Israel, to stand with the Jews. If, God forbid, a Palestinian state is created, and if, God forbid, the westernmost border of the Judea-Samaria is Qalqilia and Tulkarem, then they are only 9 miles from the Mediterranean Sea. And if we hand over control of the Jordan River, which of course the Palestinians will demand, then there's nothing to stop a 10 million man Islamic march to the sea. But anyway, the point was, and this is the bottom line, that the Council on Foreign Relations people said to me 2 things. Firstly, Israel will be surrendered to the Muslims, and America doesn't care about UN resolutions 242 and 338 calling for new borders, which are secured, recognized, and defensible. And secondly, and this is the key to my message, that's why I wrote Christian Revival for Israel's Survival. They said to me that there's only one thing that made America great, and that's the barrel of oil, the steady price of oil, the steady supply of oil. And a very dear Christian friend and ally that night got up and said, you call yourselves Christians? You say that what made America great was the barrel of oil?
That was today's edition of The Promised Land.
So Rosalie, Dr. Fish, being an Hungarian, what did this have to do for you?
Well, I don't know if our viewers know, but my family escaped Hungary just like he did during the revolution, and also were persecuted by the Nazis. But unfortunately, Dr. Fish got caught by the Nazis, and with my parents' situation, it was Christians that hid them for a year when the Nazis were in Hungary. Most of my family was destroyed. He talks about this special memorial, this special cemetery, which obviously I would like to find out about. And we're going to be talking with him soon. You know, I have some questions. I never really asked my father while he was alive, or my mother, details about what they went through in hiding, and people who risked their lives to protect them and hide them. And I just really would encourage whoever's watching today, if you have family members that have experienced things in their lives that are historical events, take time to ask them now while they're alive. And
most of them have not shared. He only has been sharing for about 10 or 12 years.
Yeah, a lot of survivors keep it in. So I'm excited to meet another Hungarian who lived a similar life that my father did, and my mother.
So what did you think about his message of hope?
Well, I'm only here because of the fraction of the people who risked their lives to hide and help the Jews, not just to people who put feet to their faith. It was because of people who were decent and loved humanity that hid my family during the occupation. So, if God forbid such a thing should happen again, that we hope that the majority would not be bystanders, but be
proactive.
Yes. But they say bystanders are equivalent to persecutors, basically.
Well, that's our show for today, and we'll be back same time next time. Stay tuned. Glad to have you with us on the crossover. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Crossover, joining Jews and Christians through our God. For more information on today's program and The Crossover, you can contact Mitch and Rosalie by following the information on your screen. The Crossover team welcomes your comments, prayers, and suggestions. Thank you again for watching The Crossover.
Offer